Hey guys, welcome back to Dirt Sheets Video Reviews. I'm Zach Brown, with me as always David Martell.
The guy with the wrestling shirt. Yeah. This guy doesn't wear wrestling shirts.
They're all dirty, literally.
Every time we shoot.
Alright, he's made me promise for next week's episode I will wear a wrestling shirt.
And if he doesn't keep the promise, I will pile drive him on this show.
Right. Anyway, so guys, we're basically just going to be talking about the Raw from March 4th? March 4th, I think it was. Huh? Where? What? Anyway. What month are we? Anyway, so a lot happened on this Raw. It was a classic themed episode of Monday Night Raw. Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of the show.
I didn't watch it. I'm just kidding, I watched it.
We both watched it together. You know, while it had a good classic feel and a lot happened in terms of building on the road to WrestleMania, overall it was kind of disappointing in my eyes, but we can talk about it.
The look of the show, I feel like every time they have one of these retro Raws, they get better and better at the look of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really like the entrance with the big
I love the stage,
big letters.
The graphics on screen.
The ring was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I had a
classic ref uniforms.
I had a toy ring like that when I was a kid. So
did you really?
It's kind of cool looking back at that and be like,
yeah.
I used to wrestle.
Yeah,
in that ring.
It was a good throwback for sure. So the night started out with CM Punk.
No, it started out with The Undertaker.
Oh, okay. The Undertaker.
That's how the show started.
The Undertaker has come back, and there were people vying to take out The Undertaker at WrestleMania, which is kind of silly because they were saying, who's going to be able to stop The Undertaker? Does The Undertaker need to be stopped?
He's an evil that needs to be purged.
Oh, is that it?
He's a cancer of wrestling.
Interesting.
You heard it here first. Undertaker is a cancer.
Wow. Some of those graphics, he looks like he was a cancer survivor. He was awful thin.
Zach was really going for the Big Show. I can tell you that. Zach is like, the one match I would really want to see at WrestleMania is Big Show versus Undertaker.
No, thank you. The only match that's worth making is CM Punk. Luckily, that match has been made with the end of the show. But anyway, it started out with Undertaker coming out, and then, the four men cutting the promos. I think this is one of the strongest points of the show. I mean, but there was just a lot weak.
CM Punk came out, and 15 other men also challenged The Undertaker.
At that point,
they played a game of bingo. The winner got to go on to the.
At the point when Vicky came out, I was making the joke of like, Vicky's challenging for the Undertaker.
That's a match I would want to see.
Yeah, really. And then, so then we got Ryback versus Cesaro, in which Ryback won in about 8 minutes.
Cesaro did a very sick European, which obviously busted something in or around
his mouth. Yeah, you know. Cesaro's the one that comes out looking strong here, I feel, and
he always looks better.
I know. Even when he's losing, he looks like a better wrestler.
Because I feel like they've had a couple matches now, Cesaro and Ryback, and every time they have a match, I'm just like, Cesaro's clearly the better wrestler and the better guy. Like, this is the guy you need to be pushing. I don't care how much roids Ryback's eating.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, he's not a better wrestler. He's not a better talker. You have this legit strong man.
Yeah,
legit.
Seriously,
who can do anything. And it's slightly disappointing because it's like, man, I want to see Cesaro.
I think they're building him. You know,
I mean, they are building him. They're giving him bigger matches, and he still is the U.S. champion. He's talking about his new shirt, which is
it was like very European, uber American.
I want that shirt. I know. After you told me about that, I was like, I need that shirt.
Yeah, it's a good look. But anyway, what did you think of the whole Mark Henry stare down with Ryback?
I like it.
Is that something you want to see?
I really like Mark Henry.
He's good right now, yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, I hated Mark Henry for 10 years. You know, every year I'd be like, I really hate Mark Henry. Why did they sign him to a 10-year contract? Remember that? I feel like that was a point we used to make. It's like, why? He was terrible.
Yeah, I know.
There was never a point that Mark Henry's good until, what, a year or two ago? 2 years ago?
I'd say about 2 years ago.
Maybe 2.5 years ago. And now he's good, and I like watching him. I like him. Whatever he says, whatever comes out of his mouth is always entertaining. And he's a monster. They built him up so well.
He just kills people.
You know, that's how you build a monster.
Yeah,
he was built perfect. And so now when I see him and I see him staring down Ryback, I'm like, yeah, I want to see Mark Henry kill Ryback. I'm not the good guy who's like, Ryback needs to go after a big man.
Yeah.
No, I was like, Mark Henry needs to eat him.
Yeah. Do you think that's like a potential WrestleMania
Obviously.
thing? You think?
Why would they do a stare down? They want to have Ryback showcased. WrestleMania's around the corner.
You never know. It could just be one of those like in passing things.
I don't think so. They built Ryback way too much not to have him in WrestleMania.
No, they would. I'm saying it's possible that he could challenge Cesaro for that title.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's a possibility. Then why did Mark Henry come out? Just to be like,
Did he face someone then? I don't know.
Exactly.
Did
right
he faced Zack Ryder? Yeah.
Which is first of all, this has never happened where two matches were that close together. Ryback's walking out, new match starts. That never happens.
Okay.
Why would they?
All right, there's some logic. Just saying. Yeah.
Let's just start this new trend where matches are just back to back.
Right.
You know?
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. You just have to watch the show sometimes, Zach. You can pick up on these things.
Oh, thanks for that. Anyway, so sometime after that, we had The Miz with his mentor Ric Flair taking out Dolph Ziggler with that beloved figure 4 of his. I just need to go on record and say, if I haven't already said it enough, The Miz with the figure 4 is a mistake. Ric Flair being his mentor.
You could have You could have taken out the word the figure 4. You could just say Miz. The Miz is a disgrace. Because The Miz is awful.
As a face, yeah.
As whatever he is now. I cannot get behind him. I don't like him. I don't like him beating Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is the Money in the Bank.
If Ric Flair, it's just so stupid.
You build him, you drop him, you build him, you drop him. What the heck?
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, come on.
Yeah, I know. If Ric Flair needed a protege, look no further than the person on the other side of the ring.
Yeah, for real. Which would make more sense.
Yeah, I know.
They kind of have the same kind of thing.
I would rather they swap manager teams, honestly.
Put the big wedgie on with The Miz.
He's referring to Big E, how he
clearly... No, they know. You don't have to tell
showing a lot of butt cheek. But
I don't know why he wears those tights. Every time he comes on, they're a little skimpy, man. Just,
yeah, that was actually one of the most.
Pull him down.
That's probably one of the most entertaining points of the night was Ric Flair. No, Ric Flair standing up to Big E when he like threw his jacket around his head.
It's like,
Big E was like no selling Nate, which I mean, is that the right move?
I would no sell a 60-year-old man.
I mean, like I'll never forget Raw several years ago. There was in Dallas, Vince McMahon faced off with several security guards, and he was taking out this big dude. Yeah, he was a local wrestler, around our parts.
His name's something Payne.
But Kevin Payne.
Kevin Payne.
And he had to sell Vince McMahon's like little punches.
The best moment of his career.
Well, probably.
The one day I took a punch from Vince.
I know, but I just didn't like how he's no selling Ric Flair. I mean,
where's The Miz going?
Nowhere.
I mean, what's his storyline heading into pay-per-view? Is it with Dolph Ziggler? I just don't.
Storyline? What do you? you
figure 4?
Why does he doesn't need a storyline? I don't know. He's probably just going to be
the
in
Marine 3
Home
Front.
God, that looks so
DVD
bad.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday.
Yeah.
Depending on when you watch this.
Free on Netflix? What?
No one would want to watch that for free. You'd have to pay someone.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay me.
Well, we've been talking about reviewing it.
I would like to review. I think we should review
WWE movies. The problem is we'd have to watch it. So, anyway.
Watch a movie that I gouge my eyes out.
Right. So what happened next? Well, I don't know about next, but eventually later in the show, The Rock and John Cena had their promo, which is probably the best part of the night for me.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean, if you had to sit back and look at what was interesting, The Rock, John Cena. I love the best moment of The Rock's promo. The best moment probably of the night is when Cena quotes Mike Tyson, Rock turns around, quotes Lance Armstrong. And
that was good.
He was full of crap, and so were you.
I almost feel like he ad-libbed that, but he probably didn't. But it felt like, because I thought he was really quoting someone.
It felt like it was
a
real. It
felt like he was just quoting like a legit quote, not one to make fun. Once he said Lance Armstrong,
I feel like he either had that in the back of his head, or it was obviously planned? And
it was good.
That was a planned repartee.
It made John Cena look like crap, and everyone else was like, "Oh,
seriously." Yeah.
I'm tired of John Cena promos.
I know. They're pretty bad.
Quoting people and I'm gonna win because I'm John Cena and I'm gonna have a 10-year title reign and I'm gonna ruin everyone's lives.
It was much more interesting last year, I feel, when The Rock was when Cena was trying to get under The Rock's skin, trying to get in his face, trying to like ridicule him. They were like ridiculing each other essentially, talking insane amounts of crap. And now it's like this mutual respect thing. If I'm gonna buy into twice in a lifetime, it needs to be a hot feud.
I'm not into that match.
I
like the title.
Yeah, who doesn't like that title now? Yeah.
You made a good statement, or someone told you as we read this that Hurricane has more wins over The Rock than CM Punk and John Cena combined.
There's an image out on the internet that it's a picture of Hurricane that captions has more wins over The Rock than Cena and Punk combined. So true.
It is true.
Yeah, it's true for the time being, right now. But that was probably the best point in the night is just setting that match up. Yes, it's not as interesting as last year. I think they have a long time to build it, and it could get.
I feel like this year's WrestleMania build-up was a little jumbled in my eyes. Just feel like I know that some matches are set, but I'm not really invested.
Okay, so sorry, you were saying?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was saying. Because you completely threw me off.
I'm sorry. Okay. You're not excited about this WrestleMania?
No. I'm excited about WrestleMania, but I'm not invested in the matches. I'm not.
I agree.
I don't really care about Jack Swagger Del Rio.
That's at the bottom of the barrel.
I don't really care about Cena Rock. I'm sure it's going to be good.
I care about that.
I'm sure it's going to be good, but I'm not I've seen it.
I have no problem with having seen it because it is a huge match. But for me, my problem lies in I know that Cena will win, and I'm planning for a Cena title reign after WrestleMania.
Exactly. And then there's other things if Ryback, Mark Henry, I'm like, okay, but I'm not really, this is going to be amazing.
Right.
I do want to see Undertaker, CM Punk. I do.
Yeah.
And maybe, once we get some CM Punk promos on The Undertaker, which I'm really excited about, I would be more invested. But as of now, I'm just like, another Undertaker match,
Yeah.
At least it's with a good guy, but it's this is not where I wanted CM Punk to be.
Well, I don't know. I'm fine with it just because CM Punk is the one guy I would have picked this year to make it seem believable. Because CM Punk just got done being at the top of the heap.
I know.
He's the next
I feel like CM Punk deserves a main event at WrestleMania. I think he deserves
that is a main event.
It's
the Undertaker.
I want the
Undertaker though. Last year, everyone thinks that Triple H Taker stole the show. They're giving him that spot now. Okay. So you can't complain. It's the Undertaker streak, dude.
I know.
It is a main event.
I get it. I get it. Okay. I get it.
All right.
I get it.
All right.
Anyways, next.
Okay, so at some point then after that, there was Triple H. Well, no. Triple H calling out Brock Lesnar. I'm fine with it. Whatever,
He busted up Brock pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true. God, I can't believe that was on WWE television. It was like the back of his head.
Cut it off.
Yeah, really. Get a towel on him. I don't know. Anyway, I liked Triple H's promo here. Actually, it was fine. I typically despise Triple H promos.
I remember yelling at the stream, "Why can't you leave?" That's what I remember.
Yeah.
You weren't like, "Yeah, Triple H promo." No, you were like, "Leave! Why are you still here?"
Is that what I was saying, or you were saying?
You were acting like
no.
You.
I don't like Triple H. I mean, I don't hide that.
Triple H.
Yeah. Haircut or no? I dislike him a lot. I don't know. I'm fine with the match. I don't like Brock or Triple H very much, but I know it'll be a heated brawl, and I'm fine with that, really.
Yeah, and day job.
Yeah. That flop by Triple H led to many jokes by David and I.
Terrible jokes.
Sounded like Triple H was going to run around giving people J jobs.
I was crying and I choked on some Pepsi.
Yeah, I made you do that.
Yeah, thanks. That sounds really bad too.
Anyway, so after that, we had finally what was supposed to be the debut of Fandango. Whatever, you know, I probably didn't, but you know what? This kind of felt old school, almost like Jericho. We were
like an old school Raw.
Yeah. Whoa. Who would have thunk it? Whoa. Anyway, so like Fandango coming out and saying what he said, refusing to have a match. It felt a little like Jericho. We were saying that.
I thought he was gonna have some stupid accent. I was slightly worried.
He sounded like Johnny Curtis again.
Yeah, I was slightly worried he was just gonna have that accent of his name.
Yeah.
But luckily, that's not what we got. It did feel like a Jericho-esque promo.
I just wish he had spilled a glass of milk over his head. Do you know what I'm referring to? Yeah.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
Makes no sense.
That was terrible.
And he had like a birthday cake. Terrible. Thank God it's Fandango. I'm digging it, actually. You know, I'm glad he doesn't sound like Antonio Banderas.
Capture that in a bottle. Thank God he's Fandango. I feel like somewhere down the road we're going to be like,
Fandango, no! He's terrible! Anyway, no, I dig him for right now, honestly.
I dig him too.
We haven't seen him in the ring, but he's good on the mic.
We've seen him in the ring before.
Well, yes, but we haven't seen Fandango.
He's not a new guy.
I know. Well, we haven't seen Fandango.
We just want to see him dance. Who? I just want to see him dance.
And how talented is that flamenco dancer? He's with whatever. And she's like doing all the work. He's just walking away and stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I'm down for it right now. He's fine.
Fandango.
I like the interaction between him and Justin Roberts. I thought that was funny. But anyway, past that, oh god, Jack Swagger, Zeb Coulter, and his like 20-second, 40-second match with Hacksaw Jim Duncan. That's what I heard Michael Cole say. Honestly,
he said Duggan. He did not say
Hacksaw Jim Duncan.
He just really went into the G.
I heard it.
He was right in the G.
Anyway. Terrible, stupid. I am not on board the Jack Swagger train. He does not deserve his spot. We said this last week. Nothing else to say. Yeah, seriously. And even if the DUI and the drug bust did not happen, and even if he wasn't facing jail,
even if he didn't,
this is not. Yeah, right.
Is that
no? Even if all that did not happen, it's not an interesting match. I'm not interested in Del Rio versus Swagger.
What I expected for the world.
World title.
For the world's title. Of the world.
Thank God everything else is so big at WrestleMania this year. I mean, there's 3 other huge matches.
It could be a good match. They're both talented wrestlers.
I'm not excited about it at all.
You're not excited about a lot of things.
Are you excited about this match?
I'm not excited about our friendship. That's
wow. You just go there all the time. Too much. Even.
Too much? Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, the wrestling wasn't really strong this week. No. All the matches were pretty short. I mean, one of the longest was Cesaro Ryback. That was like 8 minutes.
Weren't most of them like below 5?
Yeah, most of them were like below 3 minutes. Honestly, several were like 2 minutes, 3 minutes something, 4 minutes something. Really not satisfying. I mean, it's 3 hours of Raw. You got to give us something. They had a tag match with Team Hell No and Primetime Players. Even that felt just kind of rushed. And that was maybe like 9-10 minutes. I don't know.
No, I thought it was like 3 something.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking.
If it was 9-10 minutes, I probably would have been like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
but 3 minutes, like, meh.
I think Miz and Ziggler maybe was
almost
8 minutes. I don't know.
Short.
Yeah, the longest match was the Fatal 4-Way, but even that
wasn't that great.
Wasn't that great.
I mean, it was basically a bunch of finishers for the most part.
If Jerry the King Lawler says this could be one of the biggest main events in Raw history, you better deliver. I mean, come on,
that's and I've lied in the past, and I will continue to lie.
Like, don't build it up and then just not deliver. It's just like so old. I should not be used to that, but I kind of am.
It was a retro Raw.
Yeah. Retro Raw, where everything's short and you just left hungry.
Remember when you didn't have wrestling matches?
Yeah, seriously.
We're back.
It's back. Anyway, so with that, should I rate first, or what do you want to do?
I'll rate first.
You'll rate
I
first.
feel like you've been rating first.
Okay, go.
I'm gonna give it a 5. No, you have to change it. If it's your pick. Copy me. Go ahead. Be a follower.
Do that too much.
Be a follower.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 5.5. Just because what a hipster.
Has to be different from the rest of it.
Yeah, and if I matched you, I would have been a copycat. But, you know what? Even though the wrestling matches were not really fulfilling, they set up a lot of WrestleMania stuff this week. So that edges it slightly more positive for me. But
I loved the look of the show.
Yeah, the look of the show is great.
You know, interesting promo.
Yeah.
The Mae Young thing was funny. We didn't talk about that, but
CM Punk marching out at her birthday. What could be worse? Like what could make him more?
The first thing you said was like, "Give her a GTS, let her die."
I didn't say let her die.
That's basically what you're saying, because you think she would survive a GTS.
She's a tough bro.
No,
she's a tough bro.
You basically said, "Let her die."
Blow out her candles.
You did say that.
I did say that. But you know,
break her neck.
Oh, I did not say that. I don't know.
Send her to the grave.
Wow. I really like CM Punk doing stuff like that. Anything that makes him more heelish, I'm for. But it's just, you know, it just wasn't a very satisfying episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say other than that.
It's middle of the road.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there wasn't much news this week. Maybe we'll cover TNA here a little bit more in the future. We've only currently done one TNA video review.
Good luck with that.
Good luck watching it.
No.
Anyway, no, I like TNA. And I'll probably wear one of their shirts next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We promised. Or...
Yeah. What is that?
That's a pile driver.
That's a pile driver?
I'm going to pile driver.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I showed you the pile driver from last week.
We watched it.
No, we still haven't watched it because it stings too bad. It's on my DVR if we ever wanted to, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, are you just making fun of me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Trying to close out the show.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's been us at Dirt Sheets. Check out dirtsheets.com, guys. We're going to be revamping the site here quickly before WrestleMania. It's going to be a brand new look. You can check it out at dirtsheets.com, so stay tuned for that. And
we're going to be doing those WrestleMania...
oh, yeah. Sean Garmer and crew. Sean Garmer, Chris Lemche, and a few other writers. Yeah, Paul. They're all going to be... reviewing classic WrestleManias all the way leading up to WrestleMania. Check out those reviews. Go to dirtsheets.com to see that stuff. And keep reading the Dirt Sheets. Have a good week in wrestling, guys.
Bye.
Later.